Hey guys, I got some things out of the kitchen to help us learn about mixtures and solutions today. So I'm going to start by reviewing with you that a mixture is something that is can have a physical change, and everything in the substance that makes up the mixture is still the same substance. Nothing has chemically changed. As we talked about the other day, with a compound, you have two substances or more that are coming together to form a new substance. So I want to show you some examples of some mixtures to kind of help you understand that a little bit better. So for example, I have some cereal here, and we don't eat Raisin Bran. We actually don't really usually eat these Fruity O's either because it's all sugar. But we had some, and what I wanted to show you was that you have a bunch of different substances, or in this case, flavors that are coming together to form a cereal. Raisin Bran is a really good example because it has raisins in it. You can separate the actual cereal from the raisins. But in this case, I've never had this cereal, but I imagine they taste similar, or maybe have a little bit of a different flavor based on the color. Like maybe this is a little grape flavor, and a little orange flavor right here. And let's say we only liked a certain flavor, we could pull out certain ones from the rest of the cereal. So I could pull out, the red ones if I like the red and purple or something like that. So with this type of mixture, the heterogeneous mixture, the particles that make up each substance are not spread evenly throughout. We're not making a new substance. Basically, you can put everything in one bowl, or you can take everything out of the bowl and still sort or separate it. A suspension is something where you can see in the mixture the different parts of it. For example, orange juice with pulp, you can see that. The particles in the suspension didn't dissolve. So in this Italian dressing, you could see the different spices within the dressing. Now, you can shake it up and everything, and the different parts of it will move all around, or, come together. But then they will separate back out once you leave the container, and everything will settle. So those are both heterogeneous mixtures where you have separate parts coming together that can be easily separated back out. And the other one that I want to show you is tea. Tea is a homogeneous mixture, and I'm going to get my hot water here from the microwave. And I made a mug of hot water, and I was going to put the tea, there you go, just water, right? Hot water. I'm going to put the tea bag in the hot water so that you can see how once this tea bag, once the tea bag sits in the water, in the warm water for a while, eventually the water will turn color from the substance that's within the tea bag. So basically, once I let this sit for a while, each part of the mixture will be exactly like every other part. So when I have tea and I get down to the bottom of it, it's still gonna taste the same as it did when I first started drinking it, because it's exactly the same. So we'll let that sit for a minute, and I'll show you how the color changes once it sits there for a while. Let's talk about a solution. So a solution is also a homogeneous mixture, and I'm going to show you the example of salt water. So when you have salt water dissolves really easily. Salt dissolves really easily in water. So I'm going to show you what happens when we mix there's the water, there's the salt, okay? And then I'm gonna stir it up, and you're gonna see that the salt will dissolve into the water, and the solution will have the same properties throughout. So similar to my tea, if I drink the salt water, which I'm not going to, The only time I have salt water is if I have a sore throat and I gargle with it. I have salt water. I can taste the top of the salt water, and it's going to taste the same as the bottom of the salt water because because the salt has dissolved completely into the water. And salt is very salt and sugar are very soluble, which means that they're able to dissolve easily in other substances. So hopefully that helps a little bit, and hopefully you can watch the video a few times to kind of get an idea of what happens when you mix and combine different substances and learn a little bit about the properties of matter so you can understand why, you know, whatever the molecules are that make up salt are going to be different than the molecules, for example, that make up this sugary fruit that I don't really care for in our house.
You've raised. Wait, no, those are.
No, it's the Fruitios. These don't dissolve in the water as quickly. They're soluble because if I sit them in the water, they're going to dissolve eventually, but not like salt. Let's see our tea. Oh yeah, see that? So the color of the tea has changed throughout because of the tea bag. All right. I hope that helps a little bit. It's really interesting stuff, this science. I know some of it can be really challenging, but I hope you're having fun learning about it. And let me know if you have any questions. Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.